Yo, what's up guys? Teacher Paul over here, and today I want to talk about this video right here that I actually watched this afternoon. In fact, I saw this on Netflix, and they were saying that it was going to launch very soon, and it was called Man vs. Bee, and I thought, you know, it's with Rowan Atkinson, so let me go check it out. But then after I watched the trailer this afternoon, I thought to myself, I've seen this before with SS Rajamouli's Eega, and I was wondering, do you guys think there's a possibility that Netflix and Rowan Atkinson, and do you think they took this concept from India? Well, we're going to talk about that today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm going to show you the trailer of the movie and you guys be the judge. So let's go.
On all 14 counts of dangerous driving, the destruction of priceless artwork, arson. Do you have anything to say before you're taken down?
You see, there was this bee.
There was this bee.
I'm Trevor from House Sitters Deluxe. Hello, sweet pea. It's Dad here. I managed to get a job. It means that we can still go on holiday together. Darling, I'll call you back.
Oh.
Is everything all right?
Fine, fine.
What?
Goodness.
Where are you?
Man versus Bee. Okay, so when I first saw this on Netflix, I haven't watched the movie, of course, and I just saw the announcement. I had no idea what it was about, but then after watching this, guys, it's a very similar concept to Eega. Of course, Eega has a full story behind it, you know, revenge and all of that. But this whole movie seems to me like it's a dude, right? Rowan Atkinson, Mr. Bean, who got a job as a house sitter while the owners were out for vacation. And then this bee starts to ruin his life completely. It's funny, I'm not gonna lie, you know, Kicha Sudeep did a great job with Eega, and he was the villain and he was funny at the same time. He was really menacing, angry, ferocious, but at the same time he was funny, quirky, you know, goofy. So I don't know how these things work, but the idea is very, very similar. Very similar. It's a very, you know, similar concept of a bee being able to ruin your life, and you can see the perspective of the bee. And I don't know, I don't want to judge anybody, but I'm just thinking to myself, do you think it's possible that they actually took the idea from Eega? Now, I haven't done a lot of research on this, but let's see what the internet is saying. I saw the comments and people were saying, you know, that it's very similar to Eega, and many people are talking about this. So we're going to read an article here that says, is Netflix's Man vs. Bee a remake of Eega Maki movie? So this article, which I'm going to share with you guys here for just 1 second. Okay, so there we go. Man vs. Bee series. Oh, it's not even a movie. So it's a series, a whole series about a man versus a bee. Wow, goodness. So the Man vs. Bee series, is it a remake of the Telugu movie Eega? As said earlier, the main plot or crux. I didn't read all of this. I'm just reading, the question. But you guys can read. I'm going to link the article. I'm going to link the article so you guys can read. As said earlier, the main plot or crux on which the movie... it's not a movie. The Man vs. Bee series is based as a bee or fly entering a house. And the housekeeper, Mr. Bean, Rowan Atkinson, tries to fend her out of the house, resulting in complete chaos. Okay, then you guys can say, okay, but a bee is different from a fly. Guys, come on. A fly, a bee, Eega, the plot is precisely the same as the second half of the movie Eega. Maki. Who calls it Maki? After verifying from multiple sources, it has been concluded that Man vs. Bee, no matter how much similar it looks, is not a remake of Eega. Thus, the Man vs. Bee series is neither remake nor the makers have taken any rights. Okay, but the main discussion here is, did they know that it was very similar to Eega? It should also be seen that plots of both Eega and the movie it's not a movie. Man vs. Bee series are similar to Breaking Bad series season 3 of the episode Fly. I mean, no, this is a push. I mean, that's a stretch. It's a stretch. The episode that they're referring to is not at all similar to Eega. First of all, it was a filler episode that they were trying to get this fly, but it wasn't anything that it wasn't funny. It was just one of those things that we need to get the bee out. Because if you're gonna stretch this far, then I can also stretch and say that Home Alone had the same concept, except that Eega and Man vs. Bee is based on an insect invading the house. I mean, that's as much as a stretch. Home Alone had the same quirky humor. People got hurt and stuff like that. So I can't say that Breaking Bad episode 10 of season 3 was similar to this. If you watch it, you'll see that it doesn't really. Just like the makers of Man vs. Bee haven't taken any rights in creating the series from Eega, it is also very much unlikely that the makers of Eega movie have taken the rights of Breaking Bad. But as I said, it's not the same thing. I mean, it's absolutely not the same thing. And besides, Breaking Bad was in 2009, and when was Eega made? It is absolutely not the same thing. If Eega is similar to something, it would be to Home Alone, but still. Or there's a movie called Lucky where a guy comes back as a dog. So, Eega is from 2012, so that's 3 years after Breaking Bad. But still, it doesn't have the same energy. When you watch Breaking Bad, you think they're trying to get this fly out of the lab because it can contaminate even like it could contaminate a whole batch, so they're trying to get it out. But it didn't have the same quirky comedy humor. It wasn't the same thing. It was a very different concept. At the end of the day, we all have similar ideas, but the fact is, how do we avoid, these comparisons? I don't know if Man vs. Bee took the idea from Eega. Maybe it did, maybe it didn't. But how can we avoid these things? If it did, then they're never going to confess. They're never going to say anything. And I don't think that's going to hold up in court because, you know, as we've seen here and everywhere, the film industry, they copy and they remake, and you can't sue because, you know, things are different. It's not the same story. It's not the same characters. They are different. The concept is something that you cannot hold rights to, right? Because concepts, they are very vague. And, you know, it's like, I'm gonna make rock music. The whole concept of the song is that it's in a rock genre. So you can't, you know, you can't take rights for that. But I would love to know what you guys think. Do you think Man vs. Bee series took the idea from Eega the movie? Let me know. It's interesting that we can talk about these things. In my opinion, I think Rowan Atkinson, he is a very original man, even though he took some inspiration from Charlie Chaplin. But I don't think he would go as far as, you know, watching an Indian movie and saying, you know what, I'm going to do the exact same thing. If somebody did copy Eega, I don't think Mr. Bean knew about it. I don't think Rowan Atkinson would go to that length. You know, it's one of those things that great minds think alike, right? At the end of the day, are you going to watch this? It looks funny. I don't know how much of an appeal it has for a full series, but hey, I guess I'm going to watch the first episode, see how the energy is. I'm not hating on anyone. I'm just really curious. And how do you guys feel? I really want to know how you feel about this. Do you feel honored that, you know, the same idea came to the West? Or do you guys feel a little bit disappointed that, you know, there wasn't any credits? I'm very neutral. I like it when, you know, there are when great ideas are used. But if they did get inspiration, I think that they should say it, right? They should admit it. I don't know. It's one of those things. It just happens. But let me know your opinion. I'll see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And see you soon. Bye-bye. Take care.